Now, Nicole claims her husband, Jack, hasn't given her the wonderful life he promised, filled with lavish homes, fancy cars, and the best of everything. Take a look.
When I walked down the aisle to marry Jack, I believed that I was walking into a wonderful life with financial security. He promised me a nice house, a couple of nice cars, a Mercedes, weekend getaways whenever we wanted. I feel misled. The credit cards are maxed out. The Audi was repossessed. Bankruptcy is imminent. We have no money.
Nicole's lifestyle expectations are pretty high.
I feel like I'm not being cared for. Our life was a whirlwind. Our first date was shopping in Beverly Hills, eating at nice places. Just on a whim, we went to New York, Nantucket, Kenya on a safari. We went on a hot air balloon ride that ended up in a champagne breakfast. Everything was completely romantic. I felt that this was definitely the life that I wanted to live forever.
She was the woman that I've been looking for and just praying they would come into my life.
I felt so pampered. Now it's all disappeared. I didn't realize that he couldn't afford what he was doing. I just had my first bath. I think that having a baby complicated everything.
We're both committed to her being at home and taking care of Anya. Sometimes I feel that Nicole's love is different than it used to be.
We are borrowing an '84 Volvo that has over 200,000 miles on it. I am so embarrassed driving the Volvo. I have not gotten my hair done in 6 months. I used to be able to get waxings and massages every other week. I don't have any of that now. We splurged by getting a Mountain Dew to share. I suffer every day because I can't buy anything. The essentials. I'm getting embarrassed returning things time after time again.
And we show Shara money that we're returning items in order to buy things that we need on a day-to-day basis.
I love Jack, but I can't take this much longer. This is definitely not the type of life that I want. DrPhil, can you please help us?
Well, I'm a little confused here. You said you're suffering every day because you can't buy things.
Right, that's correct.
That's an interesting definition of suffering.
Well, we can't buy the essentials. We can't buy things.
Well, that's not what you were talking about. I mean, let's be honest.
Right, right.
What were you talking about? You were talking about massages and hair and nails and all of that?
Well, aren't those essentials?
Well, it depends. What was your motive for marrying to begin with?
And besides the fact that we were very much in love, we did have a little baby on the way.
You were married before. I believe I'm quoting now that you left your first husband because you were looking for someone, quote, more lucrative.
That's correct.
Than him. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did, I'm sure.
Are you kidding me?
In my first marriage, I didn't have the life that I had hoped for. And so obviously when
Financially?
Right. When I got married again, I was hoping for a better life.
What do you think about all of this?
Well, when we met, the love that we had for each other was just absolutely incredible. And I wanted to do everything that I possibly could for her. And that meant going the extra mile. That meant putting things on credit cards, just spoiling her to death and doing what she needed and what she really wanted. I didn't know that so much of her happiness seemed to lie on the financial security.
Well, apparently you did know that because you spent yourself, you didn't have enough confidence in yourself and your ability to win her over and make her happy that you spent yourself totally into debt in order to ensure that you could meet her expectations. Isn't that right?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, you took her on a safari, hot air balloons, champagne. Do you watch a lot of TV?
Yes, I do.
I mean, do you really think that's how people live their whole lives? You think he's going to, like, take you to your nail appointment in a hot air balloon every day? I think your expectancies are really unbelievable. I mean, what you're saying that, oh, my God, I'm so horrified that I'm having to drive this Volvo. I'm so humiliated. If I was going to be embarrassed, I don't think it would be about that. I think it would maybe be about the fact that you're saying I was looking for a more lucrative deal and you ain't cash flowing like I thought you were. I mean, do you think that's a reasonable approach to marriage?
No, and there are other reasons why I married him. I mean, he's a wonderful, wonderful husband. He takes care of me and everything. But I was just hoping for a better life financially, looking for more security.
Okay, and I mean, let's look at the flip side of this. Have you ever heard of bait and switch? Bait and switch is when you show them one thing, they sign up, and you give them another.
Exactly.
Didn't you kind of bait and switch this deal? I mean, safaris and Nantucket and L.A. and New York and all of that, like, hey, come on, baby, we're going to go rock and roll. And then you get married and she has to split a Mountain Dew? I mean, that is a... Were you honest in what you presented?
Well, I thought that we would be able to maintain, and I'd be able to maintain that.
Look, this isn't magic, it's math. I mean, you know what your income is, you know what your credit card debt was going to be, and you knew those bills were coming due. So you've gone from 2 incomes to 1, didn't make the job change, and added a baby.
Yes.
You guys are now having sexual problems, right? You just aren't motivated there. You say it's because you can't get past the harsh words she's saying about the financial situation.
Not only the financial situation, but also other areas, yes.
Okay.
When I'm really upset and I'm hurt and it's just piling up, I just lash out and I get very verbal. And it tends to hurt his feelings.
What do you say to him?
Well, things like, I should never have married you. What did I get myself into?
So what do you want?
I just want to feel that magic again that we used to feel.
Yeah. And do you need the lifestyle in order to feel that? You need to feel the pampering, the trips, the resorts, the massages, would that light the fire?
The lifestyle would help, but I think the fact that we don't have the lifestyle that we were used to, that we started out with, and the lifestyle that we were expecting, I think the fact that we don't have that puts a strain on our relationship. So then we're fighting and we're stressed, and then there's no connection.
So if that doesn't change, you want out?
There are many times when I just want out, yes. I think about it a lot.
Yeah. And how about you? You wanting out as well?
No.
You're not wanting out?
I really want to save this and do whatever I need to do to make this work.
Okay. Well, here's the reality, okay? Would you like a little reality check here? You guys, you've hit the wall financially. You're heading into bankruptcy, right?
We are.
And this is going to be a long climb out of this. You've gone from 2 income to 1. You're a stay-at-home mom, at least for now. You got a lot of debt accumulated here and virtually no assets.
That is correct.
So that means you're starting underwater. So I don't expect to see you sailing off the coast of Nantucket soon, okay? So where does that leave you?
Well, it's hard because we loved going on weekend getaways, and that was where we
but we're not talking about we. We're talking about you. We're talking about you in saying that's not going to happen. Do you acknowledge that's not in your future?
Correct.
That this affluent African safari, hot air balloon champagne breakfast on the heels of a trip to Nantucket is not in your immediate future?
It's not in the immediate future, no.
Okay. You know, the Sultan of Brunei is probably not doing that today. I mean, are you looking for another more lucrative player now?
No, I am not looking around. I just want us to be connecting again. Even despite the money, I don't want the money to interfere with our passion.
Okay, well, that won't happen because there's not any. Okay? The money won't be a problem because there's not any. This is about growing up, right? When you grow up, you realize that you don't get to do everything you want to do whenever you want to do it. You have to make sacrifices. And this marriage won't work if you keep telling him he's no good and worthless because he can't take you everywhere you want to go.
That is very true.
And you can't keep trying to buy her happiness and commitment because you can't afford it. I mean, she's got a high standard here. And you help create that high standard. You guys need to get honest with yourselves and say, you know what? If we're going to do this, we need to start over. We just need to start over. We need to be financially responsible. We need to get high on each other. We need to get high on our family. We need to value things that we can create within our lifestyle and budget and not worry about the jet set. My first guests have been married for 8 months. She says she wants to be treated like a Southern belle. Yeah. He says his Georgia peach needs to get off her pedestal. Okay. Take a look.
My husband and I are considered newlyweds, but the honeymoon phase was over before it ever got started.
Now it's like, who cares? You know, we're ready to call it quits. We've talked about divorce already.
We started dating in January, had a daughter in November, got married in December. I had to move all the way from Georgia up here to Michigan, and I left behind all of my friends, all of my family. That was a very huge sacrifice.
Thank you for calling J-Line Salons. I may help you. There's no, I don't feel like cutting hair today. If I don't cut hair today, guess what? Some kind of light or water bill or something's gonna get cut off. And she can sit at home and eat bonbons and dip cookies in milk and play with the kids and take naps all day, you know? I gotta do this every day.
As a husband, he should realize that it takes much more than a roof over your head and your bills paid to keep a happy and healthy relationship.
I deliberately stay at the salon extra hours to avoid going home because, you know, I know that when I go home, we're gonna argue about something.
Any conversation pretty much is gonna turn into an argument.
Settle down. That's all I want you to do. Just settle down. There was one fight that we had that had to be the worst fight. I got so fed up that I just snapped. And I said, you're so ungrateful. You know, you don't appreciate anything I do. You know, you can just leave. And then that hurt her.
I definitely demand complete and equal respect for my husband. Marlon thinks he's the king of the castle and that whatever he says goes.
I bought her a car as a gift, and her reaction was not what I thought it would be.
I was not going to fake and jump for joy.
I walked in, I'm like, honey, look in the driveway. She's like, oh, all right, thank you. I mean, I said, no hug around the neck, no Toyota jump, no, you know, that's it.
You do not surprise your wife, your spouse, with a raggedy hoopty.
I'm gonna tell you something. That car gets her from A to B, and to me, it makes me feel like you're ungrateful. You are very ungrateful, Shamika. My wife doesn't even support my dream. Just tone your voice down a little bit. What God created me to do was to sing. I got big wheels and I'm ready to roll. I'm sacrificing my music career for the sake of the marriage.
He'll end up being there maybe 10 or 12 hours. I do not see him, and he does not see his children either. I'm hoping that he will realize that we need to be a priority in his life.
I'm not ready to quit, you know. Still got a lot of fight in me.
So you're still plugged in. You don't want this to fall apart.
Not at all, DrPhil. I'm here because I know that there's something good out of this that can happen, help. You know, I don't want it to fall apart at all. And
how about you? Where are you in this deal?
I'm definitely still very much in love with my husband, and I definitely want us to do everything that we can possibly do to make sure that we do stay together.
How long did you know each other before you moved in together?
We knew each other probably about a month.
No,
I believe it was 4 days.
About a
Oh,
week.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
I don't ask questions that I don't know the answer to.
Okay. It's about a week.
Okay, let's just clear that up, right? I told you I came from the litigation arena. I don't ask questions I don't already know the answer to. Right. So basically, you knew each other for less than a week before you said, woo, let's move in together and start playing house, right?
It's a little bit more complex than that, but...
How complex can it get in a week?
I didn't have anywhere to go. I mean...
Well, that clears it up. But you moved in together in less than a week.
Right.
What happened to dating for a while? What happened to getting to know each other? What happened to finding out what his values are and his beliefs and his priorities and in what esteem he would hold you?
It kind of was like backwards. We kind of, you know, did it.
Yeah, we got caught up in the whirlwind, and the everything just went so fast, and the unlovedness, and we were just like, you know, it was just like, yeah, I want to be with you.
But boy, isn't there a big difference between falling in love and being in love?
Absolutely.
Because when you're falling in love, it's all exciting and you're staying up all night.
Yep.
And then after that phase is over, it's like, will you turn off that television and shut up?
Amen.
Yeah. So you're in the turn off the TV and shut up phase right now. You guys are living, you're starting to say, okay, we're merging two lives here.
Absolutely.
Okay. You said you want to be married to like a Southern gentleman, right, that valued women.
Yes, you can say that.
Where are you from?
In a hurtful way. I'm from Michigan.
You're from Michigan.
Proudly to say, yes, sir.
Michigan.
Yeah, I'm from the South, and I mean, it may sound spoiled, it may sound, you know, whatever, but I'm used to being, you know, catered to, and I think every woman wants to be catered to. I mean, just it's not even, it's just a little thing. If I say, you know, one day, and I told him, it's just a little thing. One day I said, you know what, ooh, I want some ice cream. You know, and I looked in my pocketbook, I didn't have any money. And so later he comes to me and says, if you wanted some ice cream, you should have just asked me for $3. And I'm like, you know, even just little stuff like that, you should have been like, ooh, baby.
She's not telling
ooh,
the whole truth of the
Okay,
matter.
wait a minute.
No, he should have been like, ooh, baby, you know what, you want some ice cream? Here, you want me to go get that for you? Or here's the money. If you want to get out, here, you go do
But
it.
at that
Hey,
time,
no,
Doc,
hold on.
And we were on good terms at that time.
my 30th birthday, I woke up that morning expecting some type of birthday breakfast. She didn't cook me breakfast.
Because I wasn't done or hadn't started at a certain time frame that he thought I should have, he made a comment about, oh, you're not going to cook me breakfast? And
her rebuttal to that wasn't, yes, I planned on cooking breakfast. It was, I'm sorry. That incident had a permanent impact on our marriage. You only have one 30th birthday.
well, every birthday is a one-time birthday. You only turn each age once.
That's the sarcasm I have to deal with. No birthday dinner, no card, no balloon, no cake, no ice cream. The nice guy me is dead.
You want her to appreciate you as the man, as the husband. Do you appreciate her as a
Absolutely.
wife and a partner?
She is a great wife and a great provider for our children. She takes good care of the children. There was a time we had happy moments. You know, up until April, you know, everything went downhill. As soon as I invested time into our business and then the salon, and it's just like anything that takes away from her attention, she gets jealous.
No,
and
sometimes there is definitely a cutoff. DrPhil, he will leave and go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, he'll see our kids for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Hey, bye, you know, I love you. And he'll come home 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The children don't see him again till in the morning for those 5 minutes. I don't see him again
But it takes
until
time to start a business.
But there has to be a
It's still not
balance.
even complete. We're 80% complete in the inside of my salon.
How do you measure success?
Hard work. Hard work and
That's how
determination.
you get it. How do you measure it? What is success?
Sometimes money to some people, but success is peace.
Is it bringing you peace?
It could.
It wasn't the question.
No, it's not. I mean, that's why we're here.
I mean, exactly.
It's not bringing me
But
peace.
Let
no.
me tell you some things that Shamika said to us. Because we asked her, as a wife, do you think you're treated as an equal, as a partner, as someone that's loved and cherished and respected? And she said, not even almost. She said, he doesn't even consult me on financial decisions, buying a house, a car, opening the salon, starting a modeling agency, whatever. And he'll go and get a loan for a house, all in his name. She said in a letter to me, I quote, he wants me to be, quote, the good little wife who speaks only when spoken to.
It's not true.
Keeps the house clean, keeps his belly full, keeps his kids, and that's it. What do I get? A rusty, dented up car.
That's not true. That's not true
I
at all.
saw the car.
Well, I'm not Dr. Phil, and I can't go and buy her a Bentley. No disrespect.
I'm just teasing you about the car because I think a car is a car and you buy what you can afford and that's fine. But what I'm not teasing you about is the fact that she feels like you want her to shut up and take care of you.
That's not true.
But she feels that way.
Absolutely. But,
True?
Yes,
Did I say that right?
I definitely do feel that
But
way.
we've talked about that, Dr. Phil, and what happens is this. My wife doesn't open up until the breaking point, until she's actually reached the point of boiling temperature, and then I find out what she wrote you.
Does she look to you like somebody that doesn't know what she's thinking?
No, she doesn't. She looks like someone
Yeah,
who knows
look
what
at
she's
her.
thinking.
Does she look to you like somebody you want to mess with?
No, she doesn't.
Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
I want to be happy.
This relationship needs a hero. This relationship needs somebody to step up and say, you know what? I'm not going to stand around and wait and see what my partner does. This relationship needs a hero. This relationship needs somebody to step up and say, you know what? I am going to create change. I am going to do the work that we need to do, and I'm going to approach this relationship with a spirit of acceptance. I was fully and completely prepared to tell you guys that you went too far, too fast, and weren't going to make it. You too can make it. You absolutely can make it. Tell me if I get this right. That Jeremy has to come straight home from work every night. He has a curfew.
He doesn't have a curfew. It's just after work. I'd like him to come home.
What time
and
is
eat
your
dinner.
curfew?
From work, it's 6 or 6:30. I have to be home. And then to go to bed at night, normally 10:30s.
Okay,
How
so
long I have to
6:30
stay
home,
up.
10:30 in bed because you got to go to bed when she's tired.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
At least he has to stay up to a reasonable hour. He likes to go to bed at 8:30 or 9.
That's
I
not
think
true.
too
That's
early.
not true at all. I have to be at work at 7 o'clock in the mornings. So, if I had a long week, there are nights that I would like to go to bed at 8 o'clock just to get a few extra hours to sleep.
Well, you married a wild and crazy guy.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, he's going to bed.
Well,
I bet
not
y'all
all-
stay up later than that, don't you? All right. You wanted him to quit his job because it was mandatory overtime and that took away from you.
Yes.
He can no longer hang out with his friends.
He could hang out with his friends if he hadn't, but he's never even asked to hang out with his friends. So.
I'm just reading these are quotes.
I'm just lucky to go to work every day, so I don't really need friends, I guess.
Okay. He's not allowed to work out or lift weights. He had to give up judo. All of this because he took time away from you. Has to go to bed same time you do. He had to choose college or work part-time, not both, because it took too much time. He's not allowed to have horses because it took too much time. He can't have hobbies that you can't do with him.
Yeah, but he also is an overworker. So he's gone a lot of times working, too. So, because he works a full job, like all day from 7 to 7 sometimes, and then the weekends as well.
You don't seem like you need some attention. He needs to come straight home from work, had to quit a job with mandatory overtime, cannot hang out with friends, cannot have hobbies, cannot lift weights, has to go to bed when you go to bed, cannot go to college, because all of this needs to be devoted to you.
Yeah,
Okay, how's that working for you?
not very well.
You're on the DrPhil show. You've been married 8 months, and he's saying, beam me up, Scotty. Would you say that it would be accurate and honest to say that you kind of wait for him to get home to entertain you and interact with you and
Sometimes,
all that?
yeah. I do count on him for that.
So you kind of counting the minutes till he gets home?
Yeah, sometimes.
You think that puts a little pressure on him?
Yeah, probably.
Do you have friends?
Yeah, I have friends. Well, yeah, I do. My mom is my best friend, and I also have another best friend, but I don't have like a whole group of friends.
Yeah. So you don't have a lot of distractions other than him?
Yeah.
And he has a lot of other distractions, and you're carving those away systematically, so he'll have less competition for time with you.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to be with you now, right?
Yeah.
Because you said he gives you like one-word answers, and he's real curt and uninvolved and
Yeah,
disengaged.
he gets really angry.
Yeah, because he's resenting you for taking everything out of his life that he loved except you. Is that a fair statement?
Oh, that's very fair. That's very fair.
If you could turn the clock back and you knew then what you know now, would you have married her?
That's a very hard question. There's so much I do love about her, but I wish we had worked on ourselves more before we got married and really paid attention to all the details. You think it's all cute when they want to be with you all the time, but in the long run, you're like, oh, that's too much. I got to breathe sometime.
It's an interesting answer. Now answer my question. If you knew it was going to be like this, would you have married her?
At times, no. At times, no.
What do you think about that?
I mean, it hurts, it does, because I want him to love me and, feel like he wants to be with me. But I do understand that we do have problems, and so, at times I wish that he was with me more too.
Well, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And my question to you is, are you too clingy? When you got here, you said, I don't think I'm clingy at all. We then went over some reality, and so I'm asking you again now. Does it mean that you don't have the right to stake out your territory, that you don't have the right for companionship, that he shouldn't want to be with you and share with you and resonate with you at every level, mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, spiritually, every possible way? But are you being too clingy?
Yes, there's a possibility I'm being too clingy.
There's a possibility.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to describe a man, and if you hear something along the way that you would go, not so much, then sit down. What if this person that you had consciously coupled with told you that you are a worthless, smelly, fat, ugly, lazy woman, and I have so much hate for you. You're so picky. Well, it gets worse. They also say you might as well be a man because you look like one. Now, what if the person saying those cruel things to you was your very own husband, your newlywed husband of just over a year? Well, that's exactly what my first guest, Shara, says she is facing. Now, there's two sides to this, and you're going to hear his in a minute. But she says her husband is a mean, insecure know-it-all, and because of him, she cannot leave home, she cannot get a job, she cannot have friends, own a cell phone, or even wear a robe in her own house. She says things are so bad she feels like a prisoner. Take a look at her point of view.
My husband, Luke, is very controlling, very condescending. He manages everything that I do, every move that I make. My marriage is definitely a prison.
I don't have a phone because I'm not allowed to have a phone.
Luke does not allow me to have a cell phone. He doesn't allow me to talk to my friends. I'm not allowed to leave the house more than 5 minutes. I can't open my laptop without him asking me questions. He said, if you want to look better, don't paint your face, go to the gym.
Honey, don't sit there and eat all the chips like that. Have some carrots or something.
Luke tells me when I'm allowed to take a shower. I remember going 3 days without a shower. When I was employed, he would come to work with me every day, sit there in the lobby and wait for me to get done working. I ended up losing my job. My husband gives me his sleep medication at night, so I won't get up in the middle of the night without him knowing. Luke thinks he is the man, that he is smarter than anyone in the room. He's called me dumb, stupid, lazy, ugly, worthless. Luke has taken my pride, my dignity, my self-worth. I can't be emotionally drained every day. I can't go on in a marriage and fight every single day with him.
Wow. Is what she's saying accurate?
No.
Do you have to give her permission to shower?
No, I do not.
That's not true.
Okay, now, hold on. We need to tell the truth here. I'm going to ask you again. Does he give you permission to shower? Has he told, did you go 3 days, as you said on the tape, waiting for him to say it's okay to shower?
Yes.
Okay, is that true or is that false? One of you's lying. You said no, she said yes.
What I try to do is I try to get her to take better care of herself. I try to teach her the self-respect, that hygiene, diet is very important, and to wake up every day.
Are you going to answer my question or just make a 4th of July speech?
Well, I encourage her. I encourage her to take care of herself.
Does she have to get your permission to take a shower?
No, she doesn't need my permission.
Did she go 3 days without a shower because you wouldn't permit it?
No, because she chose to.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's true because she would prefer to lay around and be on the internet for most of the day.
Okay, are you telling the truth here?
Yes, sir, I am.
Well, so he's not.
Correct.
Okay, we're about done here. Are you telling the truth or are you lying? Somebody's lying. I don't talk to liars.
Okay, well, I am not lying. When she chooses to sleep till noon and not motivate herself, get cleaned up, wake up in a reasonable time frame in the morning, that is her choice.
There's a yes or no answer here, and I'm not getting it. Do you tell her she can't leave the house?
No, I encourage her to get up and come and at least
She
go
says
shopping.
that you tell her she can't leave the house alone for more than 5 minutes unless escorted by you.
No, that is very untrue. I encourage her to get motivated, at least do shopping for herself.
Did you tell her she can't have her own cell phone?
It's not feasible for us to have phones, 2 smartphones, because they're very expensive for one. And
do you have a keystroke monitor where you can track everything?
No, I do not. I do not have a keystroke. I don't even know how to do this.
Did you tell her you did?
Yes, I did.
Did you tell her she can't get a job?
No, I encourage her to get a job. Matter of fact, I encourage her.
Seriously, is it just me?
No.
When she did have a job, did you go sit in the lobby while she was at work?
When she had her job full time, I was very proud of her. She worked hard, and I had a diabetic coma episode. I ended up in the hospital, and at that point...
Is this coming to a yes?
Yes, this is coming to a yes, because she wanted me to come up to her work to keep an eye on me, and asked her boss if it was okay if he sat in the lobby, so
The one time.
Well, what you told us is that he came and sat in your lobby every day while you were working until you got fired.
Correct.
How often did you go to her job?
Well, I was going every day to her job and sitting in the lobby just because of the simple fact she can keep an eye on me. She knows what to do in the event of giving me either, whether it be an insulin injection.
Did somebody write stupid on my forehead?
No. But it's the insecurities, you know, I mean, we're leaving a big part of this out. It's the insecurities of, as my husband, she thought I was running around seeing other women, so it makes her feel more secure when I'm in a line of sight.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to listen to that lie.
Well, it's true.
Why was he in the lobby?
The one time he did say I would feel comfortable going to your work, and I allowed that to happen the one time because of a
Yeah. Okay, but what about the other times?
The other times it was, I felt personally that you came to work with me to monitor everything I did, everybody I talked to.
Is that true?
It is not true. It is not true. This whole thing it's stemming from insecurity of her wanting me by her side. You know,
Did you tell her she can't wear a robe inside the house?
Well, I mean, inside the house, you know, anything goes. We're in private.
No,
so you don't tell her she can't wear. Do you tell her she must wear a tank top, shorts, or underwear to bed?
Well, it's like when I guess when you put on Carhartts or a snowmobile suit, and it's not exactly flattering if there's going to be any kind of intimacy. You wouldn't exactly want your wife coming to bed just bundled up like she's a sleeping bag around her, and it's.
So is that a yes?
Well, it's a yes. It's a yes because I would like to see my wife, you know, be more flattering. You know, when I constantly have to tell her things like, well, you know, you probably should put some socks and shoes on before you go out in 20 below zero.
Do you want her to go to bed when you do? And do you give her your sleep medication so she doesn't wake up during the night?
She asked me if she can have something to go to sleep.
That's
She's
not
stressed, and that is true. That is true.
Have you called her stupid, ugly, fat?
A lot of names, a lot of the name calling has been where I am at the end of my rope. I'm only a human being. And people do get into name calling when
Well, I made a list. She gave us a list. She says, you said you're worthless and you are nothing and I want nothing to do with you. You're such a disappointment. You do nothing to turn me on and you don't even wear what I want you to get me turned on. I have done more than you, seen more than you, been richer than you will ever be. I am smarter than you. You haven't lived life and you don't know. Nothing would be a word to describe you. You might as well be a man because you look like one. You have brought nothing but ugliness into my life. You will be on the streets with nothing. You are a fat, ugly, stinky, worthless human. You don't take care of your body, and you disgust me. You are a worthless, smelly, fat, ugly, lazy woman, and I have so much hate for you. Maybe I need to leave you again for you to get in the hang of being a wife and stop wasting my time. It goes on.
Yeah,
do those things
that's very far-fetched.
I wrote down verbatim, word for word.
Well,
that
you
is
know,
absolutely the honest
You know,
truth.
that's what you like to do is capture a heated moment. But what about where
Because
I'm trying to be humble? What
These
about
are the
when I'm
names you
trying
call
to
me,
gentle
and it doesn't
approach?
go away.
What about when I'm trying a gentle approach and humbling and bringing you breakfast in bed?
One
and
day
making
a
your
month?
coffee, and one day a month. How can you say that?
Because that's when we get along, is maybe one day
If
a
I
month.
don't do the shopping, if I don't do the cooking, you don't eat.
I don't want to go anywhere with
you. If I don't encourage you to drink water and get some nourishment in you, you go all day laying in bed.
It's called
I'm not doing
depression.
anything.
Do you
It's
blame
called
me?
depression. I don't blame you, but I'm trying to motivate you. I'm trying to
Really?
say
This is motivational?
Well, it's motivational, but this is not true. These statements that I so-called made are not true to that level.
Would you say that you have a parent-child relationship with her?
Yes and no. You know, when I have to remind somebody to do just the basic hygiene or the basic...
Like a parent would a child.
Like please don't sleep till noon.
Yeah, we used to say that to our children.
Yeah, so yes, to answer your question, yeah. I feel like I'm having to.
I got an answer.
Okay.
That's great.
And you've also said on many occasions, you know, I have to set my alarm to get you up in the morning. Where have you been the rest of my life when I've got my other jobs? You were never there to get me up.
I know you may have done that in the past, but I would like to see some of that. I would like to see you wake up on your own, motivate, eat properly, and start off
Well, maybe
your
when
day.
I'm talked to nicely and have the ambition to want to, then it will change.
I have some problems of my own, and I'm trying to stay on point, but I have a problem myself. I met her in a big city,
Right.
and I was never told, you know, she never got into her background about being from the country and growing up on a farm, and it was, we really didn't know each other when we jumped into this. And so every day was constantly finding new things out about each other that were kind of disturbing.
You said that you're savvy, street smart, educated, that you're just more a worldly person, right?
Yeah.
How come you are in such a mess?
Well, I guess that's why we're here.
Absolutely.
Because
I guess
seriously,
that's
if
why
you're,
we're here,
if you're
because I
that
cannot
smart,
figure it out.
No, you can't.
the
You're not
angles-
even close.
Okay, well, good.
I've worked with so many people over all the years that have been impacted by that kind of horrific conduct. They kind of go one of two ways. Either their self-esteem is ripped from them and they become very passive and compliant so as not to invoke that kind of rage or control from someone, or they embrace a false sense of superiority because they become what I call white knucklers. They white knuckle their world. They hang on so tight because they feel like if they ever even relax a little bit, that everything will spin out of control. And you've done one and you've done the other. Let me just be very straight. The manner in which you are seeking to motivate, inspire, and change this person has the opposite effect of what you want.
Correct.
The good news here is neither one of you has done anything here that is irreparable to the other. You love her.
Yes.
If you walked around a corner at the mall or at church or somewhere, and there was somebody that had her pinned up against the wall and said, "You are ugly and smelly and fat," how would that go over with you if some guy had her pinned against the wall, derogating her in that way?
It wouldn't go over too well.
You wouldn't put up with it for 1 second, would you?
No.
Then why do you accept it from yourself? Well, Amber says in the year and a half that she's been married to her husband, Jim, things have gone from very good to very, very bad. Gone are the Corvettes, the Suburban, the Acura, the Winnebago, the fancy clothes, $300,000, and an extremely lucrative golf pro shop and driving range. Amber says Jim is now unemployed, practically homeless, and has an anger problem that has spiraled so out of control, the police have been called twice in just the last week. Amber says those aren't the only problems. She says that she only found out in the last year that her husband is what she calls a compulsive gambler, and now she's not sure if their newlywed marriage is even going to survive. Take a look.
My husband Jim's gambling is out of control. Anytime Jim has a chance, he will gamble. Jim gets manic when he's gambling. Blow every penny he has. It's just out of control. When I first met Jim, he was extremely well off. He had a very lucrative business, 3 vehicles. He had a nice house, but now every bit of it's gone.
Since I've been married to Amber, I've probably lost around $300,000. In my lifetime of gambling, I've probably lost over $800,000.
Jim opened 3 credit cards in my name. And 6 months later, I looked online and saw that he had run me 18 grand into debt in 1 month.
Because of my gambling losses, I've sold virtually everything that's any value to me. 2 Corvettes that I sold. I had a motorhome that I bought with winnings that when I lost, I sold it. One time I told Amber that I had testicular cancer.
I spoke to his ex-wife, and she told me he, in fact, never had cancer. So all the times Jim said that he was going to the doctor for checkups, he was actually gambling. Who lies about having cancer? The worst thing Jim did was pawn my $10,000 wedding ring to go gamble.
That's one of the things I'm most ashamed of. That was kind of a sacred thing that we had.
I couldn't even speak. I was so angry. I'm totally fed up with Jim's gambling. This is it. If Jim doesn't get help, I'm gone.
Okay, Jim, let me start out by saying I need to know what your agenda is in being here, because if what she's describing is true, and I think most of it you confirm, is I don't know what to believe from someone with your history or not. When you're talking, how do I know whether I'm being conned, lied to, or told the truth?
DrPhil, you can't with me. Right now, I wouldn't be here if I did not want to save my marriage and my family. And that's my real agenda right now.
Well, I'm sure you do in the moment.
Right.
Because, as you know, one of the things they say about sociopaths and pathological liars, because you're a bright guy, that's part of the problem, is there's a difference between being sorry for what you've done and being sorry that you got caught.
True.
Okay. What do you think?
I think he's here as last resort.
Last resort? What do you mean?
Well, we're not living together now.
Right.
I'm on the verge of filing for divorce.
Right.
He doesn't see his son regularly. And so I think that this is the last resort. If he doesn't get help now, there's nothing else to lose.
I think that's unfair, what not seeing my son regularly. I see my son...
Because you're gambling.
Well,
you want to see him because you're gambling.
There's times that you've kept him away from me also.
Because you're gambling.
Well, there's times we argue and you say you're not going to see your son today because of this. So
because you're manic.
Okay.
You came to L.A. to the DrPhil show to get help for your compulsive gambling.
I asked him last night if he wanted to see his son.
And you went out gambling last night.
Yes, we did. Yes, I did. I can say that, Saturday night we got in an argument and it triggered a lot of stuff, and that's what usually happens to me, is when I'm alone, that's what happens.
What do you think about that?
I asked him many times, and he said that he was just walking around.
And I was walking around for a long time. It was later in the evening when I...
What could you possibly gamble? I haven't even paid bills.
Yeah.
What could you possibly have to gamble?
Not much.
You did have an opportunity to see your son last night, but you went and gambled instead. Is that the bottom line?
No, that's not the bottom line.
So
no.
what is it?
The bottom line is that everything has to be on Amber's terms. And one moment she told me Saturday night when I was trying to help my son up the stairs, we were going to go get something to eat, and I'm trying to help my son up the stairs, and she started arguing with me on the stairs that she wanted me to let him walk by himself. And that started a fight to where she told me just to leave him alone. That is very true. And she told me to leave him alone for the rest of the night. So I did. I went back up to the room, and I stayed there Saturday night for the rest of the night by myself. She called me up afterwards, and then she was going to let me come back. And, Amber, that's what's not true about it.
I told you to let him hold the rail with his other hand so he had 2 hands balancing, and you threw a fit.
I just didn't want my son to fall.
What does that have to do with you gambling?
Something triggers, it triggers me when we argue. There's times I've had
But don't you start fights so you can go gamble? You've admitted that. You said, I start calling her a whore and a slut and a tramp to start a fight, so I have a reason to storm out so I can go gamble. You said that yourself.
I have, but that's not the only time that ever happens.
Have you gambled away your business?
Yes.
Did you pawn her wedding rings?
Yes.
Did you lie about having cancer?
Yeah.
Did you lie about a wife, a fake wife?
Yep.
Thanks
for that one.
What?
No, I mean, It wasn't.
Still stuff is painful for me.
Okay.
'Cause when I found it out, you made me feel crazy because you got mad because I looked you up. You're like, well, why'd you look me up?
Did you tell her, what are you, a victim here? What do you mean, thanks for that one? She's outing you on something? Did you lie about a cat?
No, I took a cat that I had before I ever met her. I had a cat. She hated the cat. It was at my house. I took it to the Humane Society to get it.
You lied about the cat.
And then I was afraid to tell her because she got so upset about that stupid cat.
I got upset about the lie,
I took
not
it back
the
in my
cat.
house and left it.
The lie, not the cat.
Because, well, I understand. I just didn't want the cat to die. And, I mean, okay, I did lie about a cat, yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to see.
I know, but all that stuff is written down, but it doesn't tell you what I was going through and the emotion that she throws out there when she doesn't have something.
Did you just have to sell a car on Sunday to pay bills?
Yeah.
Because you'd gambled away the.
Yes, I did.
What'd you do with the money you got with the car?
I gambled away the next day.
Last week, the police had to be called because of Jim's outbursts. Jim wakes me up at 4 in the morning after going through my phone and accusing me of talking to another guy.
I saw some text messages that I thought were inappropriate. In the back of my mind, it triggered to me that I got cash in the house, and this is my opportunity to maybe go gamble.
Kept escalating. And he takes my phone and it's like, I'm leaving. Jim takes my car keys, $1,800 in cash that was on my counter for bills, and heads out to my car. He's about middle of the garage, and I run past him.
Amber came up, and she was trying to get her purse, and she did lunge at me, and she did get me right across the neck.
So then he kind of pushes me back, and then that's when I go back, and then I'm pissed. A few hours later, Jim comes back to the house and wants to talk.
Because I still wanted answers. She started to try to close the door on me.
Jim gets mad, and he hits the door and knocks it off the hinges. I was completely freaked out by Jim's behavior, so I've messaged my friend, and she called the police. This has gotten absolutely ridiculous.
Okay. At this point, have you lost your temper?
Yes.
You ripped this door off the hinges.
No, they did not rip the door. The door came off the hinges.
Really? Is that how we want to spend our time talking about that? I've lived in 20 houses, and I've never had a door come off the hinges. Are we really going to go through the semantics of how a door came off the hinges? Were you there?
I was there.
Were you pissed?
Yep.
Did the door come off the hinges?
Yes.
Calm down. That's
It's kind of
dangerous.
hard to calm down, Dr. Phil, when you got lighter fluid going on top of you. And she can say some things during an argument, and she knows exactly what buttons to push. And it's almost like she's trying, and you can admit this, all right? She will say whatever she can to infuriate me, and she does it intentionally. And I know I shouldn't let it get there.
Okay, you're just sitting there knitting, and I just say something to be mean and make you go gamble. Bull crap. No, it's after you said something. And
Forget about the gambling. I'm talking about just the arguments. I mean, they get out of control a lot of times.
Because I just out of the blue say mean things to you. Seriously, I don't do that.
You know, you said a lot of things on there, the things I call you. Why don't you talk about some of the things you called me one time?
Because I don't want to embarrass you.
You don't want to embarrass me? Okay. Old man.
Yeah, it was rude. I shouldn't have said that.
She talks about how I'm saggy and I'm, bald and all the other good things, all right?
Well, I used to think he was bald because of chemo, so.
I mean, and I could go on with other things. She can add some fuel to the fire sometimes, Dr. Phil, and I mean, that's not an exaggeration at all.
I don't break doors off hinges.
No, but you do smash iPads. She came into my store one time and actually and it was on tape. She walked in and she just took the iPad and smashed it.
No, I didn't. I smashed the phone on the iPad.
You broke the iPad. It's a $300, $400 iPad that she just smashed.
Well, you know what I think?
I'd like to know.
Well, two things.
Okay.
Number one, all that was 5 minutes of my life I can never get back. Just blah, 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 blah.
Sorry about that.
And two, you are a man. You never put your hands on a woman in anger ever for any reason. You never call a woman the names you're calling her. She is your wife. She is the mother of your children. There is no excuse to verbally, mentally, emotionally, or physically abuse a woman. I don't care what she does. You turn around and walk away. If she follows you, you run. If she runs after you, you run faster. You get away, but you do not aggress against a woman. You just simply don't do it. Man up and stop doing that, or you're going to jail. I cannot imagine what it's like to wake up in the morning and realize that you have just gambled away your child's college education, that you have just gambled away the ability to provide for your child, that once again you caved and let them down and have to look yourself in the mirror and know, I did it again. Aren't you tired of that roller coaster?
More than you know, DrPhil.
Well, apparently I do know. You tried to back out of doing the show this morning.
I did.
For the 5th time.
Maybe like the 10th time, DrPhil.
Well, it's the 5th time that I know about.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the main reason I wanted to come on this show was to try to save my marriage and to stop gambling. And she flat told me that the marriage was not savable.
Have you ever heard the old saying, what I fear I create?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're worried she's going to take up with somebody else. You are doing everything you possibly can to guarantee that's going to happen. The way you are treating her, the way you are conducting yourself, she could just stop a car out on the street at random and trade up.
Sorry, that was actually really funny.
I mean, seriously, come on. You're lying to her, calling her names, ripping the door off or knocking the door off, whatever semantics you want to play. You're gambling away her future, the child's future.
Real catch.
Well, it's hard to fall off the floor.
Yeah. He doesn't even stay at the house. He was living in the store.
Which means, but look, here's the good thing about behaviors. Behaviors have a beginning and an end. I'm one of those people that believes you are what you do. When you stop doing it, it's over. You can stop doing that and start doing this. You create a new history that creates a new future. You can really change what you're doing here. Seriously, Jim. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.